Welcome to the Born Again Jock Jerry Maloski Scholarship Award. Thank you all for coming. My name is Bob Swanson. I'm chairman of the event. Every year it's good to see these students who seem to be able to do everything, according to their applications. I just want to note that there's a change in the program where we have Elizabeth DeMario speaking on behalf of her father, Jerry Maloski. I'll read a thing that she had sent me later on in place of that. So I can't introduce them like I wanted to, but we'll get to that. This year, we're rewarding 12 scholarships at $1,500 each. 10 from our pancake breakfast silent auction proceeds. One donated by Roger Colin in memory of his wife Una Mae, and one donated by Dick Matson in memory of his wife Mary Ann. There are 4 girls and 8 boys this time. Just happens that way. For those not familiar with the BAJs, we're men 55 and over who like to keep active in sports or just keep active, playing cards sometimes. There's no dues. We play softball, golf, volleyball, bowling, tennis, bocce ball, bicycling, pickleball, and table tennis. Arnie Johnson, Jerry Maloski, and others were instrumental in organizing the BAJs back in 1984. You can check that green program for a little more information on it. We've raised well over $200,000 through the pancake breakfast and silent auction, which is October 7th, by the way. It's always the first Sunday in October, right here in the event center downstairs. Our teamwork and cooperation with the schools, the city of Bloomington, and the Knights of Columbus is terrific, and we would like to express our thanks to all those involved. It reminds me of a little short story talking about the BAJs. Shortly after I joined this, my wife was writing Christmas cards, and she likes to put a little something in the cards, and she's not a very good speller. So she always comes to me to proofread things, and she had written in there, and she says, "Take a look at this, okay?" So I'm looking at it, and I get to the part that says, "Bob joined this organization called the Born Again Jokes." This is a true story. Needless to say, I corrected her. At this time, I'd like to introduce our scholarship committee, the ones that selected all of you students. I'd like you to please stand and remain standing. Jerry Narragon just left ill. He was planning on being here. Roger Colin, John Crary, Steve Alpert couldn't make it, Jerry Vandegard, the 2 activities directors, Chad Nyberg from Jefferson, and Matt Hansen from Kennedy, and myself. Give those guys a good hand. We'll hear from Chad and Matt later in the presentation. Now I'd like to recognize some distinguished guests. These people don't have to stand, just raise your hand. Our Bloomington Mayor, Gene Winstead. School Superintendent, Les Fujitaki. Bloomington City Councilman, Jack Beloga. The city's Parks and Rec Director, Randy Qualley. And thanks to Tom Ringdahl of BEC-TV for recording this presentation. It'll air on cable TV. Do you know when it might be done?
We would say so.
And I can't forget all the parents of these great students who have guided them along the way. Just raise your hand, you can stay seated, and let's have a nice round of applause for the parents. As I said before at the beginning, that Maloski family couldn't make it, so Elizabeth DeMario sent me this email, this letter in an email, and I'll read it to you here in place of what's on the program. I apologize for the short notice, but regretfully we are unable to attend the BAJ Scholarship Luncheon this year. We are moving my mother to a new apartment upon being discharged from the transitional care. It's all happening rather quickly and with short notice, so we're scrambling a bit. Now that's the sister of Jerry Maloski moving Jerry's wife. We feel so bad. I don't think we have missed the banquet in all these years. Please express our heartfelt congratulations to the recipients. They are always such an amazing and impressive group of young adults. We wish this year's recipients much success and many blessings in their college careers. And to the BAJs, we sincerely appreciate you continuing to honor our husband and dad with this scholarship. There are no words sufficient to express how grateful we are to you all. Now she makes a few points about Jerry Maloski. He was Minnesota born and raised, played football, basketball, and baseball at Columbia Heights High School. He graduated from St. Thomas, where he played football and was on the swim and dive team. He coached their freshman football team after graduating. He was a World War II veteran with the 10th Mountain Division ski troops in Europe and a recipient of 2 Purple Hearts. He and Mom moved to Bloomington about 65 years ago and raised 5 kids. He taught in the Bloomington schools for 35 years, starting at the old Bloomington school building that housed K through 12. Then was at the old Lincoln High School and finished up at Kennedy. He taught biology, American history, Phi Ed, and health classes, and coached everything from football, track, golf, swimming, and boys and girls tennis. He introduced and coached wrestling as well. He developed the curriculum at the University of Minnesota for adapted Phi Ed. After retiring, he started the Bloomington Fitness Center and was an active member of the BAJs. He loved teaching and coaching, and believed that developing a student's character and confidence was fundamental to teaching and coaching. Thank you so much, and again, our sincerest apologies. We look forward to joining you all next year. All the best to you, Elizabeth. At this point, I think this is what you're waiting for. Get your awards. So if Matt and Chad come up here, I'll let them take over. Okay, this is for his. Plaques are up here, all in alphabet. So whoever you're doing first.
There we go. Okay, so we know. All right.
It's on.
All right. Before we get going with the presentation portion of this, I want to just take a few moments here to make a few comments. First, I want to say thank you to the BAJs. The BAJs make contributions to both Jefferson and Kennedy to help subsidize athletic registrations over time. They do the scholarship, and to date, like Bob was saying, they're over $200,000 in total scholarship dollars, and we're certainly lucky to have them as part of our community. It's a great treasure to have. Special thanks for sure to Bob and the committee members who were recognized early for taking the time, putting this together, and making a commitment to the kids and to the students that are moving on to college and providing some financial contributions to that. And lastly, thanks to the parents for sure for taking time, effort, just support really of your son or daughter and allowing them to be active participants, and really that's what as Matt and I are in our current positions is because we just have a love for athletics activities and the extra stuff of school, and certainly you guys have allowed that as a central point of your child's life, and it's important, and it's an important thing for the continuation of all this, like big picture of giving back when they're 5 years out or 10 years out of taking their turn to coach and allow those aspirations for the next level of kids to come up. It's just part of the cycle. So we want to say thank you for that, because it's certainly probably important of your lives. You pass the gift on, and hopefully the gift of your children will continue the cycle with us. So I want to say thanks for that as well. Here's the process. In your green program, you can see the order in which the students are going to be called up. We'll ask you to come up. We'll say your name. We'll have you stand probably on the left here of me, just because of space requirements. Give you your plaque. I'll read some bio and thoughts I have, comments, and then we'll turn it over to the kids for a couple comments once I'm done with my portion and Matt's done with his portion, and we'll go through the list. With that, we're going to start with Marcus Bachman. All right, some highlights about Marcus. Marcus was on the Jefferson bowling team for 6 years. This year was named the team captain, along with being selected as the team's most valuable player and receiving conference all honors 2 times. He maintains over a 3.9 GPA. He's volunteered his time at his church youth group, STEM Bunnies, along with Design-Wise Medical and 4-H. Former bowling coach Kurt Johnson says, Marcus has the best attitude you could ever hope for. His personal skills far exceed anything that a bowling team could teach. He has been a homebound student due to medical conditions, yet he is the most supportive and inspirational person that I have ever seen. Next year, Marcus attends or plans on attending Northwestern University in St. Paul and major in accounting. Congratulations, Marcus.
Elaborate a little bit on that homebound and health problem stuff. I didn't attend school regularly until 9th grade. I did the first trimester at Jefferson, but then I got sick. I needed surgery. I couldn't go back the rest of the year. I went back in 10th grade. I got sick. And at that point I said, that's it. I kept getting sick, so I did homebound online school. And as much as I missed going to school, it's the best thing I could have done, I think.
Thank you very much.
Okay, next up is David Beacom. All right, so David's a 5-year lacrosse player, a 4-year hockey player. He was also a 2-year cross-country athlete at Kennedy. He's a 2-time captain for both hockey and lacrosse. He's an all-conference player in hockey and lacrosse. David won the Masterton Award for hockey, and also the high school Hobie Baker Award at Kennedy. He's a member of the National Honor Society and is also an Knight Mentor at Kennedy. In his free time, what little he does have, but he seems to do quite a bit. He also volunteers. He coaches the Bear Cubs, which is Bloomington Lacrosse, the youth. He also is involved with the Mite Hockey program and with Feed My Starving Children. He maintains a 3.94 GPA, and Coach Andy Lee has this to say about David. Coaching David Beacom since 8th grade has been one of the greatest opportunities I've ever received as a lacrosse coach. To see how this young man has developed these past 5 years, both on and off the field, has truly been a great honor and privilege. He has been focused on improving himself as an athlete and a student since day one, and has showed up every single day with the right attitude and focus. I know that David will achieve success as he continues to grow as a person. His legacy within the Bloomington Kennedy boys lacrosse program will most certainly be told as a story of grit, drive, and dedication, and also as a reminder to our younger players of what you can accomplish when you put your mind and body to work. Next fall, David will be attending the University of Detroit Mercy on a lacrosse scholarship and majoring in engineering. So congrats, David.
I want to start off by saying thank you to all the members of the Born Again Jocks committee for giving me this scholarship. I am inspired to pursue a degree in engineering, as Matt said, and I know that the lessons I learned through sports and volunteering will help me in the coming years. And I also want to say thank you to my parents and grandparents for everything they have sacrificed for me to be able to where I am today and be able to play lacrosse at the next level. And I just want to say thank you again to everyone here for this scholarship. It will be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Next up is Mackenzie Booth. Okay, Mackenzie, she's played lacrosse for 6 years at Kennedy, and 5 years she was a hockey player as well. She's a two-time captain in both hockey and lacrosse, an all-conference award winner in both hockey and lacrosse. Mackenzie won the Masterton Award for girls hockey this year. Mackenzie has also competed in the oral French state exam. She's participated in the National History Day regional competition and was also at the Metro West Art Show. She received honorable mention honors as a scholastic art at the competition. Mackenzie volunteers her time with Feed My Starving Children, also with Learn to Play Hockey and feeding the Minneapolis homeless. She maintains a 3.51 GPA, and Coach Cheryl Rathel has this to say about Mackenzie. Mac is a special player that I feel is one of the most valuable players, not simply because she is a leader, which she is, but because she fights harder in every situation. Win, loss, cold, hot, rain, it doesn't matter. I can count on Mac to be at her best. No complaints, just performance. She is a quality young lady that seeks justice and equality for everyone. I must say, I am so happy that she's on my team. She's tough, she's loyal to the blue and gold. She's multi-talented in her artistic ability as well, and her athletic ability. In fact, I think so highly of her artwork that I have it professionally framed and hanging in my home. I'm so proud of her and wish her the best in her next step of her life. Mackenzie will be attending St. Olaf College next fall. She'll be playing hockey and majoring in nursing. Congratulations.
I'm Mackenzie. Like Matt said, I'm going to be attending St. Olaf College. I plan on doing nursing, and I'm grateful I get to play hockey there as well. I'd like to thank Born Again Jocks for giving me this scholarship. It's truly an honor, and it's going to help with the financial burden and make college more about learning. Thanks.
Next up, we have Nate Chow. I had a directive. All right, Nate Chow. Some highlights from Nate's career at Jefferson. He played 4 years of football, 4 years of basketball, and 1 year of golf. He's a football captain and named the team MVP this year, as well as being academic all-conference in football. He's part of J-Corps, Pathfinders, and Youth Frontiers. He maintains a 3.971 GPA. Head football coach Tim Carlson says, "Nate be one of the hardest working young men we've ever had come through our football program. He's a true leader who is concerned about his teammates not only on the field, but off. Nate will be a huge success in whatever he decides to do in his life." Next year, Nate's going to be attending Bethel University, majoring in biokinetics and playing football. Congratulations, Nate.
First and foremost, I'd like to thank the Born Again Jocks. Private school is quite expensive, so this is going to be a huge help so I can focus on school and sports. I'd like to thank all my teammates. Those were the people that I pushed and all the extra workouts and all that stuff. That's who that was for. I'd like to thank my coaches for shaping me on the field to who I need to be. I'd like to thank my friends for keeping me from not getting too high and shooting me down if my confidence gets too up. And my girlfriend for keeping me off the floor when times got tough as well. I'd like to thank my little brother. He's not here today, but he always was the person that I knew was looking up to me. So I had to make sure I was leaving a positive role model status for him. And I'd like to thank my parents. I haven't said thank you enough, and I'm sorry, but I really thank you for everything you've done. Thank you.
That's tough to follow. Up next is Isaac Coutier. Isaac is a four-year football player and a four-year basketball player at Kennedy. He's a captain for both football and basketball. He was an all-district selection and an academic all-conference selection in football. He was also the team MVP this year. Isaac volunteers his time at Children's Hospital and with Loaves and Fishes. He also is the team manager for the girls lacrosse team this year. He maintains a 3.5 GPA, and Coach John Anderson has this to say about Isaac. I've known Isaac for the past 4 years, and he is the player that every coach wants to coach. He's a great student, a tremendous leader, and an even better person. The thing that really sets Isaac apart from the rest of the students is what a great man he is. Isaac is kind, considerate, caring, honest, and responsible. He does so much to help those around him. He's a mentor for our 9th graders. He coaches an 8th grade football team and has volunteered numerous hours outside of school. I'm extremely hopeful for his future, but I know his graduation will be a loss for our school and our football team. Next year, Isaac's going to play down at St. Olaf and major in biology and pre-chem. Congratulations, Isaac.
So first off, I'd like to thank all of the BAJs. The scholarship is amazing, and it gives all of us just great opportunities and just to focus on school. Secondly, I'd like to thank all my coaches that I've had throughout the years, just making me see that it's possible to do anything. I'd like to thank my family. My parents can't be here. They got stuck at work, but they helped me so much. And my girlfriend, Julia, and her family, they're so sweet. And yeah, just thank you again to the BAJs.
Next up, we have Marissa Downer. Oops. I'm losing things. Yeah, I do need that. Some highlights about Marissa. Marissa competed 4 years in cross country, 5 years in Nordic, 3 years in track, and 3 years as a synchronized swimmer. That's pretty incredible. I mean, you think about it. Like when I wrote it down, I was like, I just don't understand how it can work. But it did. She's been an all-conference selection in cross country, honorable mention in Nordic, captain in both cross country and Nordic, maintains a 4.19 GPA. She's a member of NHS Tutoring, Feed My Starving Children, volunteers at VEEP. Head cross country and girls track and field coach Sean Falk has this to say. Marissa was a varsity cross-country runner, Nordic skier, and track athlete. She was a 3-time all-conference athlete in cross-country and a 1-time state participant. Marissa's achievements in the classroom and an extensive list of extracurricular activities had made her a well-rounded person and a leader in our school community. Next year, Marissa will be attending Marquette University and majoring in engineering. Congratulations.
To the Born Again Jocks, thank you for considering me and choosing my application as a scholarship recipient. This money brings me closer to fulfilling my college tuition, and I am honored that I was picked to receive it. I appreciate knowing that my hard work over the last 4 years merits the honor of being recognized by your committee. I'm extremely excited to start college in the fall. I plan to involve myself in many activities to immerse myself in college and campus life. Being supported by your scholarship will greatly defray my tuition costs and enable me to spend more time studying and maintaining a strong continuation of my community involvement. Once more, I'd like to thank you for this amazing opportunity through financial assistance, and I appreciate your generosity in presenting this award. And I'd also like to thank my parents.
Good catch. Next up, we have Mike Evans. Some highlights about Mike. Mike played 1 year of football, 4 years of basketball, and 4 years of baseball during his time at Jefferson. He's a captain of the basketball team as a senior, all-conference basketball selection as well. He's been part of his church youth group, along with being part of FCA, maintains a 3.3 GPA, and I can relate with Mike here. I'm taking the quote part of this because my dad was a teacher-coach combo as well, and it's not always the easiest thing to run in those streams. And I guess when I was kind of looking back over watching him in his 4 years, I know it's not always easy to be in the classroom or be coached by a parent, both sides. But he's done it well. It's been fun to watch Mike over his 4 years. He's certainly a quiet person by nature. I think I heard more at the lunch table than I have in 4 years. But it's just been fun to watch him grow. And, because he's a team first mentality guy, always pushing his teammates to get better, but also wanting to have as much input as he can himself and doing all the things on the backside to make sure that happens. So for sure, that's going to serve Mike well as he moves to St. John's University next year, majoring in engineering or business and playing basketball. Congratulations, Mike.
I would like to thank the Born Again Jocks Association that make this honor possible. During my high school career, I watched and witnessed the model of lifelong fitness and enjoyment of physical activity that the BAJs display in our activity center. And I consider this a great honor as I close out my high school athletic career. Thank you. I'd also like to congratulate the other award winners, and I would like to thank all my coaches and mentors along the way.
Next up, I have Elena Haydee. All right, highlights on Elena's career. She was in 4 years of track and field, 2 years of cross country, 2 years of volleyball. All conference and all track selections, along with being a team captain, maintains over a 4.25 GPA. She's all-state in orchestra, member of the French Club, Environmental Club, and member of Science Olympiad and Pathfinders. Volunteers her time at Minnesota Masonic Home. Head cross-country and girls track and field coach Sean Falk says, Elena is one of the hardest workers we have had in the program. She is the first to practice and last to leave, and her leadership skills are what sets her apart. Next year, she's going to be attending the University of Minnesota, plans on majoring in biology and running cross-country and track. Congratulations.
I would like to thank the Born Again Jock Scholarship Committee for granting me and all the recipients this Born Again Jock Scholarship. You have helped my family tremendously in paying for college and have thus enabled me to follow my dreams of running at the collegiate level, maintaining community involvement, and focusing on academics. We are so grateful for your generosity, and it is such an honor.
Next up is Grant Mendel. All right, Grant's a 2-year hockey player and a 3-year lacrosse athlete at Kennedy. Grant's captain lacrosse team. He's also participated in AP Art for 2 years and won the Golden Torch Award for art. Grant volunteers his time at Feed My Starving Children, Ark Family Village, Simon Says Give, and with the Heritage Day Parade. He maintains a 3.6 GPA, and Coach Andy Lee has this to say about Grant. Grant stepped into our program following the footsteps of his older brother, Derek, who graduated in 2015. Derek had a large footprint on this program Grant had a large footprint on this program with his 2 years playing for me, and certainly was a vocal individual who commanded attention on and off the field. Oh, I screwed that up. Sorry, that was right. So I was thinking to myself, hold on. So Derek had a large footprint, but Grant could not be any more opposite of Derek, and we absolutely love him for that. Grant has been a quiet, resilient type that no matter what is asked or how it is asked, he steps up and delivers results. Grant's focus on his craft has been instrumental to our program during our biggest wins in program history and raising the bar for those around him on what can be accomplished. The Mendel's presence will come to a close this year, but how Grant entered this program and now how he's leaving, it will be remembered as someone who strived for greatness and challenged those around him to do more. Grant will be attending Normandale next fall and is undecided on a major. Congratulations.
I'd just like to thank the BAJ Association for the scholarship and also my parents for everything that they've done. Thank you.
Next up is Julia Munson. Take your time. Take your time.
Thanks.
All right. Julia is a 5-year soccer player, a 4-year lacrosse athlete at Kennedy. She's a 3-time captain in both soccer and lacrosse. In soccer, Julia was named the most defensive player. In lacrosse, she has several honors, including the Eagle Award, Best Offensive Player, Team MVP. She was also a second-team All-State recipient last year. And last year, she led the state in goals scored with 88. She was also Kennedy's Athena Award winner this year. In her free time, she volunteers with Bloomington Youth Lacrosse, with the Judson Church and Garden Communities as a child care volunteer, and as a Tony Sana camp leader. She maintains a 3.76 GPA, and Coach Rathel had this to say about Julia. Julia is a trustworthy, honest, hardworking, and dedicated to the success of our school. She is a tremendous example of what we want all young people to learn from school and from athletics. She thinks of herself. She thinks of others before herself on a consistent basis, which is very unusual in the era of the me generation. She is such a strong leader. She continues to show leadership as she has had, even though she had a season-ending injury just a couple weeks ago. Yet she shows just how much. Yet she shows just as much. Shows up, just as much as before, with passion, and she wants to see the success of her team going forward. She leads by example with the utmost thought of what is best for the team and not for herself. I'm proud to say that she was my captain, and I trust her and know that she is one of the most responsible young people that I've ever had the pleasure to coach. Next fall, Julia will attend Concordia University St. Paul, and at some point she'll start playing lacrosse, but it won't be for a little while. So congratulations.
Well, just thank you to the BAJ, and thank you to Isaac and my parents and grandparents for everything you've done for me, but most importantly to the BAJ for giving me an opportunity to further my education and lacrosse career.
Luis Romero. Luis has played soccer, cross country, and track at Kennedy, along with being a 6-year swimmer. Luis has won several awards in school and sports, including being the hardest worker in swimming multiple times, an academic all-conference award winner, the Golden Torch Award for academics, top 10 in his class, and he has also received the Senior Achievement Award for volunteerism. Luis is a member of student government, College Possible, AVID, and Minds Matter. I don't know if Luis was the chairperson. Were you the chairperson for Box City?
The co-chair, yeah.
Co-chair. But kind of a quick thing, so when he was the co-chair for Box City Vigil, he needed to get on the announcements for about 2 weeks straight, and he'd always have kind of a different take on Box City. But just the amount of time, you ended up kind of fake fighting or real fighting, or yeah, they went hand-to-hand combat to try to get more people out to Box City Vigil. But the bottom line is Luis has spent so much time volunteering. He got the award, the Senior Achievement Award for volunteerism, which is really special for somebody who's still in high school to spend that much time volunteering. He's also volunteered as a BA soccer coach with Bloomington United for Youth, and again, he's the co-chair for Box City. He maintains a 3.7 GPA, and Coach Todd Walsh had this to say: Luis is a true team leader without being a captain. He's committed and dedicated to becoming a better swimmer. He is a student of the sport by watching video and pushing himself to get better. His legacy is he would swim whatever event the coaching staff needed without question to the best of his ability. It was truly inspiring. Next fall, Luis will be attending the University of St. Thomas and majoring in mechanical engineering. Congratulations.
First off, I'd like to thank the Born Again Jocks for granting me the scholarship and furthering my education. I'd like to thank my coaches, my mentors, and anybody I met along the way for helping me and finding my way in high school. But most importantly, I'd like to thank my mom for all the hard work she's helped me go through and raising me and sacrificing a lot to giving me rides everywhere and coming to all my meets. So thank you.
Caleb Vanderbeek. Caleb's a 4-year basketball and a 4-year baseball player at Kennedy. He's captained the basketball team as a senior. He's also been in the band for a year and a member of the National Honor Society. He volunteers through NHS each year, and he maintains a 4.0 GPA. Coach George Walker had this to say about Caleb. Caleb is one of the most coachable, team-first players I've ever had at Kennedy. It's never about him. He was a captain for basketball and carries himself like a captain in baseball by leading by example, always. He's a great role model for the younger players. He has a bright future in whatever he does post-high school. Caleb is planning to attend the University of Wisconsin lacrosse and majoring in biology and physical therapy. Congratulations.
I would like to thank the Born Again Jocks for this opportunity to continue my education in physical therapy. I would like to thank my parents for the time and support that they've given me throughout my career of playing sports and education. And I would like to thank my teammates and my coaches for helping shape me into who I am today. Thank you.
And as Chad said, and I just wanted to echo, when you think about an organization from the mid-'80s that's donated over $200,000 to our kids, it's pretty remarkable. And to hear, whether it was me reading or Chad reading, to hear just the stories about these young people, you always hear about some of the negative things, but then you sit in a banquet like this and you're like, this is why our future is always going to be bright. So congratulations to all of our athletes, and again, thank you to the Born Again Jocks.
Thank you, Chad and Matt. I want a big hand for them. I think they did a heck of a job presenting this. There's one other person I'd like to acknowledge here, and he's a retired basketball coach at Jefferson. His name is Jack Evans. Jack, raise your hand. Jack was part of our committee for years, so I just wanted to get some notation on that. And that's about it. At this point, I'd like you all to stand and we'll sing God Bless America, and that'll be it. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Thank you all for coming. Remember, just go well.